has officially been canceled. It is off. It is not happening on November 14th. It is not happening in 9 days' time in Miami on Netflix, and I don't think it's ever happening. So if you weren't a fan of this fight, I think you got your wish. Now, late yesterday night here on the East Coast, around, 9:30, 10 or so, Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying Most Valuable Promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly, said Nikisa Badarian, CEO of MVP. While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Kaseya Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel and Casino for their partnership. Then there's some information about, fans who purchase tickets. You can see all of this online. I did speak to Nikisa.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez is one of the most fascinating mythical matchups in modern boxing. Both fighters are pound-for-pound greats with different styles, backgrounds, and weight class achievements. Fans have imagined this clash for years because it represents the ultimate question: can pure skill overcome size and power?
All right, folks, we are back on The Weight Concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And I'm finally done with my obligations for today. It is midnight, and I am here in my hotel room giving you guys my final predictions for Canelo versus Crawford. I know I've gone over why, if Canelo is to win, he could win. Why, if Crawford is to win, he could win. And it's been a crazy week. I've had 2 boxing shows to call. I was live earlier today interviewing everybody and felt like their mother in the Radio Row of this fight week. I'll do another one tomorrow, so you guys will see that probably after this video comes out. But it's now time for me to give my final predictions and talk about this brand new sparring footage that is a little bit interesting that dropped between Canelo Álvarez and Boots Ennis. What does it all mean? Will it affect the fight? How do I see this thing going? It's time for the final breakdown of Canelo versus Crawford. Who wins and why? Let's go. But before we do, let's take a quick second to talk about how I got these guns popping. And it's because of the sponsor of today's video, First Form. Folks, I use First Form's Formula 1 quick digesting whey isolate protein after every single one of my workouts. And I promise you guys, I've been feeling better than I have in a very long time. You guys know that I'm someone that continues to get hurt, continues to work out, eat not great, and then don't know why I don't see the results I want. And finally, slowly but surely, I'm seeing those results, and I think I have First Form to thank for that. Number one, the supplementation you get from not just this First Form Formula 1, but the First Form Energy 1 bars or the First Form OptiGreens 50. They all coalesce into a well-balanced supplementation program for me, for you guys to feel your best and keep yourself in the best shape possible by continuing to be able to work out and reap the rewards from the work you're putting in. All products at First Form are NSF certified. These are products looked over, carefully cultivated for you guys to have the best options in your post-workout recovery, in your supplementation. You guys can take advantage now by clicking the link in the description. And when you do, if you spend $100 or more, you're going to get free shipping. And also, if you don't like the product for whatever reason, and I promise you, you're going to like the product, but if you didn't, send it back within the first 30 days, and First Form will refund you 110% of what you spent. So folks, once again, click the link in the description. You spend $100, you're going to get that free shipping. Whether it's Formula 1 or the product of your choice, First Form is looking out for you and doing so by giving you the best supplementation on the planet. Thank you to First Form for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to the breakdown.
Canelo Álvarez, the Mexican superstar, is known for his heavy hands, granite chin, elite counterpunching, and world-class body attack. He has evolved from a young, aggressive puncher into a patient, intelligent pressure fighter who breaks down opponents over time. His experience against bigger men at 168 and 175 pounds gives him a natural advantage in strength.
So is this what your day consists of, man? Bouncing around back and forth? All the time. Faster, you're slower. Depending on the day. So it's times when you got 5 dudes in there, times when you ain't got nobody in there?
No, yeah, if there ain't nobody here, I'm out. I ain't sitting around.
It's not like it's back in the day. You just chill in the gym.
Back in the day, it was always people in the gym, though. It was always people. Once in a while, you get a break to go get a sandwich or something. But there's always somebody in there.
Hit to the store to gamble. Poppy Joe.
That was a few years ago. That ain't back in the day. That was a few years ago. I think you was talking about when it all started.
Yo,
On the other hand, Terence "Bud" Crawford is a complete technician, fluid footwork, switch-hitting ability, sharp timing, and ruthless finishing instincts. Crawford has dominated every division he entered, becoming undisputed at both 140 and 147. His adaptability is unmatched. He studies opponents for a few rounds and then takes control with precision.
Hey,
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. It's been a while. How you been?
Yeah. I feel good. I feel great.
Yeah, what's been going on?
Not much. Just building my promotion, family. That's pretty much it. Wearing my family cap and my business cap.
It's been a while since you've been back in the ring. I know you just announced this fight at the Barclays, I believe October coming up, October 18th to be exact. Okay, so I saw like a farewell to Barclays. Is it just farewell to Barclays or is it a farewell to boxing?
Well, it's farewell to Barclays, and it's 85% chance. Yeah, it could be farewell.
Why not 100? Why is it just 85? Why are you leaving the door just a little bit open?
Just because I know I'm a fighter, but I know that yes, it's a high chance that this is my farewell for sure.
Why, Danny?
I feel like I gave it everything I got in the sport of boxing. I've been boxing since I was a kid, a long time. So I want to leave. I want to leave the game with all my marbles, and I feel like I really don't have nothing to prove no more. I feel like I've accomplished so much in my career. I fought everyone, and I made a lot of money. But this one, I just want this fight because I can't retire off a loss in the way I lost my last fight. I want to retire with a win. Nothing's guaranteed, but the way I'm putting this work in, it's a high chance that I'm gonna hurt this guy.
Yeah, that last fight was against Irslandi Lara in your attempt to win another world title in a different weight class.
Yeah.
Danny, I guess when did you come to the decision of this when you discussed it with your daddy and your family?
Yeah, I said, Pops, look, we can't go out like that. And he knows what I'm made of. He knows that wasn't me there in there that night. He knows Classic Garcia wasn't. He just knows everything that happened to me before that fight, all the factors that played, and I tried my best just to stay in the game, but I couldn't take my mind to that level.
What happened? You mentioned all the things that happened before that.
Yeah, so
what happened?
28-month layoff. Going up a weight class. Angel had a stroke. It was hard seeing him in the gym, quiet. The energy was off in the gym. It just wasn't right. I can't explain it. My spirit as a fighter was not there. for many reasons. Angel having a stroke, the layoff. It was hard for me to just even get back into it like that level. And yeah, I just didn't feel myself. I feel like it was just I just didn't feel myself. I can't explain it.
If the two ever shared a ring, the strategic clash would be breathtaking. Canelo would try to cut the ring, slow Crawford with body shots, and force exchanges inside. Crawford would need to stay mobile, disrupt timing, and use angles to avoid getting trapped. His switch hitting could confuse Canelo, making it harder for the Mexican star to set counters.
Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. The trade deadline comes, the trade deadline goes. The Miami Dolphins make no more moves. No Bradley Chubb, no Minkah Fitzpatrick, no Jalen Waddle. The lone move that they make at the deadline, of course, you guys know, Jalen Phillips yesterday traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for a third-round pick. And the rest of the roster will remain intact as the Dolphins do not move on from any of their other players, which, look, I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm pretty numb to this season already because, you know, this season feels like it's inevitably going to crash and burn already as it is. And there'll be time to make these moves. I mean, the Jalen Phillips one probably was the one with the most pressure to get done just because of the timeline of it all. You know, maybe there are others that feel like, hey, Waddle can go have an amazing year and then you could deal him in the offseason. The reports were from several reporters nationally. Adam Schefter, despite getting calls on Jalen Waddle and Bradley Chubb, the Dolphins did not make a deal before the deadline, opted to hold on to both. Jordan Schultz, the Broncos, and a few other teams reached out and monitored the Dolphins about Jalen Waddle, but no deal got done. Miami's asking price was simply too high. Benjamin Albright reports the Dolphins wanted a first and more for Jalen Waddle, and teams weren't willing to part with that for Jalen Waddle. And I think that probably would have been the most surprising thing of today. And probably would have gotten the Dolphins the best haul. Would have just getting a first sufficed in giving up Jalen Waddle? I don't know. It probably depends on the team that you're doing it with, and if there's a chance that maybe was it going to be a bottom of the barrel first round pick, maybe a team that was willing to risk it a little bit more. The Bradley Chubb thing, I don't know simply what people were going to expect to get from him based on his age and injury past.
However, size would be a major factor. Canelo is naturally much bigger, having fought elite fighters at super middleweight and even light heavyweight. Crawford, although incredibly skilled, has never faced someone with that level of physical strength and experience against giants. Every mistake Crawford makes could be punished with fight-changing power.
Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Carl the Cobra Froch, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion, and I was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2023 for my stellar professional boxing career. I'm just about to go and interview Terence Bud Crawford, who takes on Canelo Álvarez September 13th in Las Vegas at a stadium with not quite 80,000 fans there. I think there's 65,000 fans there in the stadium there in Las Vegas. But I interviewed Canelo Álvarez a little bit earlier. It's on my last episode. If you haven't seen it, go and take a look, but enjoy this one. This episode is brought to you by Cobra Casino. I want to go straight in and start with an image I saw yesterday. And it was you sitting across the table from Canelo Álvarez with Turkey Al Sheikh in between you. What was that like? What was the conversation like? What was the vibe like being sat across from
It was a cool vibe. Conversation was just about boxing. You know, ate dinner, just chilled. You know, like we was all cool.
Actually talking to Canelo about boxing though, like any kind of details, talking about your fight or just boxing in general. I find it interesting that because I've sat across from my opponents a couple of times and we do like a gloves are off where we talk and someone compares it and tries to get us going.
Oh no.
Was it a friendly? Was it just a friendly chat?
Yeah, it was just a friendly chat. It wasn't nothing like
nothing. No beef.
No beef or anything like that.
Did you find yourself sizing him up when you meet him? Because what I do when I meet opponents in the past is have a look and shake their hand and give them a little Donald Trump handshake. Do you find yourself...
Nah, I already sized him up.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done that. When did that happen?
When I first seen it.
Crawford's advantage lies in speed, adaptability, and IQ. His ability to read opponents and adjust in real time is unmatched in today's boxing landscape. If he can keep Canelo guessing, force him to reset, and avoid prolonged exchanges, Bud could outbox Canelo for stretches, using movement and timing to control the fight.
And you know, I've seen some people say like, hey, and this is his take. Like, I asked him 2 questions basically, like, did this have anything to do with the ticket sales? He said this was going to be a very, very successful event for them financially. And the other thing was, like, you know, Tank Davis has a checkered past. He had a checkered past when this fight was made. What changed? Well, obviously 2 incidents, allegations, lawsuit. Since the fight was announced, they at the time felt like this was an opportunity for people to learn about who Tank Davis is, for him to show the world that he was a changed man, all this stuff and more. And, you know, that didn't happen. And they felt like they had to cancel the event. For the record, I feel like this was 100% the right call. You can't be a promotion that is so heavily invested in women's boxing and work with a guy who has allegations and lawsuits pending like Tank Davis does. You just can't. It's a mixed message. And what they're doing with women, I think, is fantastic. I think it's brilliant what they've done, focusing on women's boxing. It calls into question everything that they've done to build that up when you do a fight like this. And so there are other fighters, other opportunities. You have to move on. They said that they had an investigation. They looked into it. They feel comfortable moving on. And I think it was 100% the right call to move on. It is not the right look. It is not the right message. It calls into question everything that they're doing with women, which I think is one of the best things that they're doing. And so that came out. Jake Paul posted a statement.
The fight's outcome would depend on whether Crawford can maintain discipline for 12 rounds without getting cornered, or whether Canelo can close distance and land the heavy shots that define his style. Both fighters have championship mentality, elite conditioning, and the heart to dig deep when the fight gets tough.
Tools that is better than him as well. So it's gonna make for a great fight.
So the size you don't think is a massive factor? Do you accept it as a factor or not?
I don't think it's a massive factor.
No,
not at all.
Sounds like you feel like you've got more skill level or more other attributes.
I just feel like I'm stronger than people expect me to be.
Do a lot of sparring with super middleweights, light heavyweights?
That's been there. Yeah, I've been doing that my whole career.
Your whole career.
So that's nothing new.
Size is no issue, and that's because you're the slight underdog.
Yeah.
Where the book is, he's the favourite. Does that concern? Are you bothered? You're undefeated.
It don't bother me. It motivates me.
Just motivates you.
Yeah. It's motivating.
When did this fight? We spoke 6 months ago, and we didn't know if this fight was going to happen. And I was saying to you, listen, fair play to you. You're going to fight one of the best in the business, who's bigger than you as well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the fight was actually done then. But when did this fight actually become real, where you're like, I'm definitely going to fight Canelo?
Oh man, it was already in the talks. You know, when we talked, it was just in the talks, and probably a couple of months after that, it became real.
And how do you feel about this now? You know, it's 100% happening. The world's watching.
I feel great. I feel great. You know, I'm ready to shock the world.
How do you feel about being the underdog? Because you're not used to being the underdog.
I feel great about it too.
Yeah.
I feel great, you know, because, you know, it's going to be a testament to my story at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. You accept this is a step up for you. Bigger weight division. I mean, he's tasted defeat. You've not tasted defeat.
Right.
So he's coming into this. He's lost a bivol. You know,
In the end, Crawford versus Canelo would be a historic clash of skill versus power, speed versus strength, and IQ versus experience at higher weights. It's the kind of fight boxing fans dream about. 2 all-time greats testing their limits and chasing greatness. No matter who wins, the fight would go down as one of the most technical and high-stakes matchups of this era.